Hello, my name is Leroy Blevins. Welcome to Mysteries and Histories. In this episode here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the three headshots of JFK. Now, I made videos on this stuff before, but it seems like people's misunderstanding about the fatal headshot and the other two shots of JFK's head. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a short video here and explain to people that it wasn't Oswald that took the first headshot to JFK. It was the gunman on the second floor of the county records building. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you photographic evidence of the three shots that I found to JFK's head. Okay, frame 229, JFK was first shot in the back of the head. Then frame 313, the fatal headshot to JFK, where both bullets made contact with this shot here from the second floor. The gunman on the second floor of the county records building took the first headshot to JFK. That bullet enters JFK's head, but it did not exit. And then when shot number 4 rang out, which would be the fatal headshot to JFK, strikes JFK in the right side of the head. But remember, the vehicle's moving at the same time, and that bullet's coming in and it's moving, and it just made contact with the bullet that was already inside of JFK's head. That's why JFK's head exploded. However, soon after JFK's head opened up, another bullet strikes the back of JFK's head, but that bullet passes through the opening, and that was the shot that Oswald took. That bullet struck JFK in the back of the head, and the bullet passed through and struck the inside of the windshield of JFK's limo. As I point out to people, and right here, which I'm going to zoom in because I know I'm over here so you can see it all. Frame 229, the bullet enters here. We can see this inside of JFK's skull and his head. This is the first shot right here. This is the entry wound right here to the back of JFK's head. This is the bullet that struck the back of JFK's head, but it did not exit. Then the second shot to JFK's head, that's when these both bullets made contact and JFK's head opened up. And then the third shot to the back of JFK's head, however, this bullet strikes here, as you see right here, but the bullet passes through that opening right here and strikes the inside of the windshield. These occurred by frames 229, 313, and 315, as I point out in my research. What we're going to do now is we're going to look at the back of JFK's head. And we can clearly see both bullet holes, one here and then one here. These are the entry wounds. They're not exit wounds, they're entry wounds. This is an entry wound, this is an entry wound in the back of JFK's head. There's not one bullet hole, there's actually two bullet holes in the back of JFK's head. And then we have JFK's right side of his head opened up, which is exploded right here, as we see here. We can verify this by the inside of JFK's head as well. When we zoom in, we can see the hole and how it's swollen, and the hole here and how it's swollen, and everything else is normal around. Okay, these are two entry wounds. The first back of head shot to JFK from the second floor of the county records building. Second shot from third shot to JFK's head, which is at the top. That bullet passes through and hits the windshield of the inside of the windshield, as I point out in my research. And then we have the open gap right here, which is the open wound when JFK's head exploded. That came from shelter number 3. That's when JFK's head opened up. So see, photographic evidence shows us what happened, shows us these entry wounds and everything else. Just like right here, we have the time frames. Okay, as you see here in my time frames, the first shot to the back of JFK's head right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull this one up and this one up. So you can see, if you ever, people talk about this, they can see this video here, and they're going to find out when I zoom in, which I'll bring over here. I don't have to zoom in because we could clearly see it right here and here. Okay, and then we're going to pull up something else right here too, so we can have that up there as well, so people can understand as well why things occur the way they did. Okay, we got the distance, that one. Let's try this one. Here we go. Okay, the first shot to the back of JFK's head was shot number 2. That was taken, as you see here, strikes the back of JFK's head. The distance is 294.18 feet or 98.6 yards. Second shot number 2 came from the second floor of the records building. That's the county records building. That's where that shot came from. Shot number 4, which is shelter number 3, where this shot came from. Okay, it was 71. He was 71.70 feet or 22.90 yards away. Okay, right side of JFK's head. That's where the open shot is. That's a fatal headshot. And that shot came from shelter number 3. That's why when I did these time frames and stuff, you know the time frame, you know the distance, you know where these shots can make contact with, you know where these shots came from. Shot number 5, which was shot at the same time as shot number 4, however, the Oswald's distance between him and that headshot was 268.17 feet or 98.39 yards. That'd be shot number 5, the back of JFK's head. Like I said, there was 2 shots in the back of JFK's head. Shot number 2 and shot number 5. And that shot came from the 6th floor of the Texas School Book Depository. Okay, so see, this is what I'm trying to explain. You know, everybody keeps on talking about exit wounds, okay? Bullets enter somebody's body. It doesn't have to have an exit wound. There's an entry wound, but it does not have to have an exit wound. This has been going on for years. Just like, remember when Lincoln was assassinated, the bullet, and he was a very close range. We're talking about probably about 8 to 10 inches away when he took the shot. The bullet entered Abraham Lincoln's head, but it did not exit. You see what I'm saying? This is like in this case as well. Okay, the bullet entered the first shot to the back of JFK's head, but it was shot number 2, entered JFK's head, but it did not exit. And then when shot number 4 rang out, they made contact. Let's go ahead and take these down. Then when shot number 4 happened and occurred, remember the first shot already struck JFK in the back of the head and it cracked the skull when it entered. Then when shot number 4 rang out, which was the second shot to JFK's head, it made contact because remember the vehicle's moving, and then when the bullet's coming in at close range, and with the vehicle moving at the same time, that's how it made contact, and then it opened up JFK's head. So not only we have the entry wound, but the exit wound is the entry wound, basically. And then JFK's head exploded. As soon as it exploded, another bullet strikes JFK in the back of the head. But that bullet passed through that opening and struck the inside of the windshield, and that was the shot to Oswald. Oswald took 2 shots that day. He took the shot to JFK's back and 1 shot to JFK's head. But the shot numbers in order, Oswald took shot number 1. That struck JFK in the back. Shot number 2 struck JFK in the back of the head, but that was from the gunman on the 2nd floor of the county records building. And then shot number 4 rang out. That was from the gunman inside shelter number 3. That was a headshot to JFK's head, but that's what opened up JFK's head. Then shot number 5 was fired at the same time, but that bullet struck the back of JFK's head and struck the inside of the windshield, because it struck and then it went through the opening and struck the inside of the windshield. As you see right here, when I put these frames in order of the shots and everything else, okay, we see here frame 329, 229, 313, and 315. Right here, the bullet strikes the back of JFK's head, which I'll zoom in first so we can see, so I can get above to where I'm at. This is frame 229. Bullet enters right here in the back of JFK's head. The bullet did not exit. And then we have this shot here to the right side of JFK's head. And as you see how it's rounded off. And then we have the second shot, third shot to the back of JFK's head. And we see JFK's head raises up here more as the bullet's in here. Mrs. Kennedy pushes it more this way because the bullet just struck there. And as you see right here, see how she's right here, but then all of a sudden she pushes him down, pushes him back because a bullet just struck him in the back of the head. And then the bullet winds up and hits the windshield. As you see right here, the inside of the windshield. So you see there was 3 shots to JFK's head. Okay, and just like when I point out to the fact of, we can see in the film, we see the bullet enter the back of JFK's head, but as you notice, as it goes along, it does not exit whatsoever. It continuously, which I'll shrink this so you can see all of them in order of the frames. We can see JFK's head, his arms will start to come up when he gets shot in the back of the head, and then he starts drooping over and drooping over. He's going to his hands and everything else. We can see this. Okay. Now I would really call this the fatal headshot, because remember, at this time, JFK, when he was first shot in the back of the head, JFK couldn't breathe that much right here, because the first shot struck JFK in the back and bullet exited his throat. And then the shot to the back of JFK's head right there. So he's at that point shot 2 times, once in the head, and then he's already gasping for air. So to me, I would look at this as the kill shot right here, the fatal headshot JFK. But everybody wants to look at that frame 313 as being a fatal headshot because JFK's head opened up, which is understandable. But to me, the fatal headshot came from the second floor of the county records building when that bullet first entered the back of JFK's head, because at this point, he can't breathe. And then when that bullet strikes him in the back of the head, his body can't function no more. So there's a lot of things we have to look at, but I just want to make this video here to point out some facts, because, I've seen comments where people says, well, Leroy said that Oswald took the first headshot to JFK and the bullet didn't exit. It wasn't Oswald took the first headshot. The first headshot came from the gunman on the second floor of the county records building. So I'll just, and then a second headshot came from the gunman inside shelter number 3. And then the third headshot came from Oswald, the third headshot. But that bullet struck JFK in the back of the head, but JFK's head's already opened up, but that bullet just went ahead and passed through. That's why when we look at the distance, and we know Oswald's shot was fired at the same time as the gunman took his shot on shelter number 3, but we see the reason why his bullet made contact first, because he was only 71.70 feet away, and Oswald was 268.17 feet away at that point. So that's why this shot struck JFK first, and then this shot here in the back of JFK's head. I just want to make this short video here to point out some facts and stuff like that, because a lot of people get confused about that, and go a little bit more detail. The first headshot came from the gunman on the second floor of the county records building. That was shot number 2. The second headshot to JFK, which was shot number 4, that came from shelter number 3. And then the final headshot to JFK, which would be shot number 5, that came from Oswald. But JFK's head opened up from the gunman inside shelter number 3, not Oswald and not the gunman on the second floor of the county records building. So I just want to let that out. Everybody know that. So don't forget that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to tell your friends about us. Always in the description down below, you find a site where you can order my book, Evidence of Conspiracy, on paperback or Kindle. The only book you ever need in JFK assassination. Again, don't forget to subscribe. Tell your friends about this information and other informations from my videos and stuff like that, so they may know this information. Share my videos on your social medias and stuff, so everybody gets a chance to know this information. Again, thank you, and God bless, and have a good day. Springtime's here. Summer's coming up. So let's all get out there and have some fun. Thank you. You have a pleasant day.